All right, guys, today is Tuesday, November 13th, and we had a pretty solid morning so far. We're only about an hour in. I've had a trade on my small account challenge. As you guys already know, I've been able to lock in a profit of $300 so far. So that's absolutely great. That's the only trade I'm going to be able to do on my small account challenge because whenever I trade, as you guys know, I like to use the majority of my funds for my small account challenge, and that's just to buy as many shares as I possibly can. So I always like to buy as many shares as I can because that's obviously going to lead towards me being able to make more profit. The more shares I have, the more profit. If I buy at the wrong times, if I'm buying at times I shouldn't be buying, where momentum's not going to be moving on in and breakouts aren't going to be happening, what's going to happen? I could buy a large amount of shares and end up losing. If I'm buying at resistance that's too strong, or on days I shouldn't, or on stocks that don't have any sort of reason, that's where I'm going to have some serious trouble. But today, here's my P&L on etrade.com. You can see the whole entire, URL. And again, obviously, I want to make sure I'm being as transparent as possible. This is simply just because I don't want to just send you a screenshot. Obviously, screenshots can be fake, and a lot of times what you see on Twitter or from some other people, it may not be even a real account. It could be a paper trading account. So I always want to show you etrade.com, which doesn't even have paper trading. And I'm going to show you again from November 5th to the 13th. I'm currently up $500. November 5th was my first trade. I have one loss, which is that $13 loss. And other than that, I have about a $77 win, about a $125 win, and then a $300 win. So up $500 on my small account right now. And, it hasn't been too shabby. That's definitely a very solid start to my month. So November of, what's today? November 13th. And have a little bit of profit underneath my belt right there. So, that's absolutely great. Really quickly, I just want to make sure the level twos are all working. All right, cool. So let's go into my trade. Let's go into my trade right now. And unfortunately, my E-Trade just went down. So I do want to bring up really quickly. It's always great to have equity feed level 2 quotes. Here we go. I just want to bring up my level 2 right here. And a lot of people always ask me a little side note right now. Oh, what are some good level 2s? You could use E-Trade, honestly, or you could use equity feed. TD Ameritrade doesn't really have the best level 2, to be completely honest with you. So that's kind of just a concern on that play. All right, cool. So you guys have that while we dive into this recap. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about EYG. Why did I trade EYG this morning? How did I know this play was going to spike? How did I get in at the entry that I did? Why did I use a limit order? How was I aware of this? Break it down start to finish. First things first, on EYG, this stock had a gap up this morning. How did I find it? It was on my gap up scanner. It was the number one top gainer in pre-market. Okay, so it's not very tough to find as long as you have some sort of scanners. You're going to be able to find it. So we figured out EYEG. Why did the stock have a gap up? It announced positive results, right? We have positive results. That's one of the easiest ways to know that we have a credible press release underneath our belt. Positive results. It doesn't really get more simple, more straightforward than that. You have positive results on whatever you're working on. Guess what? Traders are going to get excited. Investors are going to move in. And we're probably going to see that stock, have some sort of green move on the day. Positive results are great, right? This is the first time I've seen a product heal this defect without a bandaged contact lens. So, we're working on these positive results it's the first time, this product's been able to heal this defect. It's going to bring in, some good attention and good volume towards it. So automatically EYG already has a gap up from that press release. Now, on top of that, what are we seeing? This play immediately has a fall at the start of the day. Now, why did the stock fall at the start of the day? Well, this stock fell at the start of the day because it opened up where? Right at its 200-day moving average. So since it opened up right underneath this wall, we are going to see the stock, start having a little bit of a pullback. If you open up right at a wall, it's not really easy to break through the wall. Usually you need a little bit of a running start, right? If you stood in front of a wall, and someone like a foot away, is it easy to break through it? Not really. If you had a running start, you may have a chance to break through that wall. That's all resistance is. It's a psychological wall. And a lot of times you need some sort of running start, that momentum buildup to break through those walls. All right, so we have EYG going on right now, and we definitely want to keep it on watch. We have positive results on this play. We know that it's opening up right next to the 200. 200-day moving average. Most likely from its gap up as well, we're going to be seeing some sort of pullback. Sellers, they're nervous of the 200-day moving average not breaking. The stock already had a pretty large gap up. People are locking in their profits at the start of the day. Now, with this going on, we also have some other gap ups. GLBS, nice gap up. This stock had good earnings, right? We also had another solid play, ATXI. ATXI, this stock is getting acquired. We had another company buy 33% stake into this company. So that's, having a nice gap up. And then we're also seeing yesterday's number one top gainer, RSLS, become the best ripper of this morning, right? So RSLS is the first play that's S, ATXI, and EYEG. RSLS is the top gainer of yesterday. Went on a $5 rip, so it has attention. GLBS is earnings. ATXI is a company buying 33% stake in the company. And then, EYG has the positive results. So first things first, RSLS goes on a nice spike. Sets up a bull flag pattern, cracks its trend line, it goes bearish. Once this stock goes bearish, it's done, right? The stock goes bearish, it's done. We're not going to get into the bearish play. We can cross that off, right? We look at ATXI. ATXI this morning, guess what happens? It dumps off. It never brings in any sort of buying volume. It's done. Now traders looking at GLBS. Guess what happened? GLBS tries to make a U-shaped pattern right here. So we try to have a U-shaped pattern. A lot of activity moves over to GLBS. Guess what happens? The stock can't break that $10 mark. And what happens? It fades off. It's done. These were the top 4 plays traders were looking at. How do I know they were the top 4 plays traders were looking at? Because they all have credible reason. They all had great gap ups, and they all had good volume at the start of the day or in pre-market. This is where traders are looking at. And we had RSLS go on a nice move, but it cracked from bullish to bearish and faded off. We had ATXI, had a good press release. Unfortunately, everyone sold that play, and it just dumped on off. And we had GLBS try to come up to the top resistance at $10, as we know is the second strongest resistance line in penny stocks, and that stock faded on off. With that being said, what's our only other option? EYG. And guess what? EYG is not fading on off. EYG came on down towards 42 cents right here. It bounced off 42 cents. And guess what? It came up to 47 cents. And I had trouble at 47 cents, right? I had trouble right here at 47 cents. Then guess what happened? It started fading on down. But guess what? It held its support line and started bouncing back on up. So while ATXI isn't bouncing, it's just fading. Comes down, fades, comes down, fades. And while GLBS tried to come up to a U-shaped pattern and then fades and then comes to support and fades and now not doing anything. And while, RSLS is trying to move on up, cracks its trend line instead of bouncing out of support level right here. If this could hold its support line, we still have potential, but guess what? That one's fading. What's the only option? EYG. EYG is the only option left where we're seeing, bounce, hold on up, bounce, and it's holding on up and now coming back on up. Now, out of our 3 plays, those are all faded on off. This is the only one left. What else do we know? What else do we know about the past 2 weeks? Every single day for about the past 2 weeks, the biggest spike, the biggest rip has been happening somewhere at around that 10 o'clock mark, somewhere between like 9:50 towards around 10:10. That's been every single breakout for about the past 2 weeks. One of the best spikes is happening right around 10 o'clock. We stated that this morning. We stated it at 9:30. We stated it at 9:40. We stated it at 9:45. We stated it in pre-market talk. I'm going to be sitting back and waiting until about 10 o'clock. Why is this happening? It's just one of those weird little trends that, we're getting into the market that, a lot of traders are sitting back waiting until about 10 o'clock. Now, with that being said, it most likely is going to, be able to work for the next few days until, as I say, it gets oversaturated. That means traders are going to say, hey, we start seeing breakouts at 10 o'clock. So what's going to happen? Oh, well, I'm going to try to buy a stock maybe at around like 9:55. And then guess what? Everyone starts doing that. Then guess what? Everyone starts trying to buy at 9:50. Then everyone tries to start buying at 9:45. And now there's no more 10 o'clock breakouts. Now it's like back to nothing. So it'll probably work for a couple and then people start buying early and then it kind of ruins the whole entire thing. But, that's what I was sitting back and waiting for. We had 4 options. 3 of them failed. 10 o'clock breakout for the past few stocks. Again, we can look at like RSLS, I believe yesterday, right? RSLS yesterday won a very big rip and a very big spike. This is the best spiker, best ripper yesterday. What time did this spike off? This went on a very big climb. Big time rip happened right at 9:50. The 9:50 is when it got unhalted at 10 o'clock, went on the $5 rip. So again, just like another little credible reason if you didn't believe me. So we have a little recap. EYG with positive results. EYG, a lower price stock. Anyone can one able to hold its gains. EYG also has an established resistance line, right? We have established resistance right along 47 cents. We came up to 47 cents, we hit 47 cents and came back down. So now the stock starts moving back on up. So now the stock starts moving up very quickly. Look at this big buying volume right here. Starts moving on up. And what did I do? I placed a limit order and I bought in on this play. I got in at 46 cents. Dek, why in the world did you get in at 46 cents? I thought you said resistance was at 47 cents. Yeah, but if I can get in as early as possible, I'm going to try to get in at the lowest price I can, right? Yeah, but should you not buy at the until resistance is broken? Well, that's because I know this one's going to break. How do I know this one's going to break? Positive results. Everything else failed. 10 o'clock breakout. It's the only stock to hold its gains. I saw this massive buying volume came up. On EYG on the level 2 went from 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and just kept going. So I'm like, get in. People are saying, Dek, why did you buy in on a limit order? On eTrade.com, if you have an eTrade broker, you have to limit order on stocks below $1. I wish I could market order. On TD Ameritrade, you can just click market order and you'll be in. On eTrade, you have to limit order on stocks below $1. So that's why I limit ordered in. And you're saying, oh, Dek, well, did you have your order typed out already? Obviously, of course. That's what I do on every single stock I do. Every single stock I do, I have everything already pre-typed. And you can bring up multiple, order boxes if you would like. Bring up multiple order boxes, and you could say to yourself, hey, okay, you know what? I'm going to have a limit order set on EYG at 47 cents, whatever, shares you want, and all you got to do is click buy now. What's the point of waiting for a stock to break out for you to type it all in? It takes time to type everything in. You're just wasting your time and waiting. You're just losing profit if you don't have everything already pre-typed. I have everything pre-typed on GLBS. I have everything pre-typed on EYG. I have everything pre-typed on all my plays. So the moment it breaks out, all I have to do is click buy. That's all I got to do. All right. So now that stock starts moving on up, gets a nice big spike. It runs all the way up to 54 cents. It comes back down to 51 cents. I lock in my profit. The stock actually ran all the way up towards around 58 cents. So, that's a beautiful play. And we can even see right now, EYG, guess what? All the way up to 55 cents. It's a beautiful play. It's extremely credible. It's a nice spiking stock. And I think the stock has a lot more towards it as well. If we look back at the past, if this thing could ever get up to like 73 cents, we got a gap to fill all the way up to $1. So, we got some money to be made, especially if this can keep on moving on up. So if this can keep chucking along, we could possibly see this all the way to $1 plus, as we have a lot of area to run on this play on EYG. So it got up towards right now about 57, 56 cents or 57, 58 cents. We have some bottom support right around 50 cents. And we're basically looking for a third touch. We got our one touch. We got our two touch. Now we want to see consolidation of one more U-shape pattern and then a breakout, on its next touch. Just like we have here. We have our open. We have our one touch. We have our two touch. We have our U-shaped breakout pattern on our third touch breakout. We have our one touch. We have our two touch. And we're going to look for our U-shaped breakout pattern. And then we're going to have our breakout. And if you guys are like, Dek, what are you talking about right here? Let me show you something. And let me bring these up. Haven't brought these up just yet. Let me see. Let me find them for a second. But this is what we like to call a channel breakout, guys. Whenever we have a channel breakout, it just leads to some very easy ripping, some very easy spikes. And that's the best thing about channel breakouts. And we're actually going to do a whole lesson on our channel breakouts coming on up. Those are all the patterns. Nice. All right, like here's a perfect example of a channel breakout. I'm just going to bring this up for you. So this is a channel breakout. So notice we have our one touch, we have our two touch, and then we buy in the third touch breakout. So we have our one touch, we have our two touch, notice how it's falling, and if it can U-shape, we buy on the third touch on our breakout pattern. All right? If you're like, oh, can I see another example? Of course you can. I got these for days, baby. We got our one touch, we got our two touch, our third touch is where we get our nice breakout. That's where we get our nice rip. All right, and so we have, another example right here. We got our one touch, we have our two touch, our third touch is where we get our nice big rip, our nice big run. So if you're interested on EYG, stop loss below this orange line, 50 cents or so, and you're looking for a higher low, basically the stock to hold around 52 cents now, basically get our third touch in maybe about a half an hour. This stock's been great. This stock's been beautiful. It's been a nice big ripper, a nice big climber. Looking for a third touch breakout coming on up. So we'll see if that can happen in the next few minutes. But so far, as you guys know, I made $300 on my small account. It's been a great month so far for my small account. It hasn't been insane. I'm up $500 in my small account challenge. I started with 3,500. Right now, I'm just above 4,000. So I'm to the 4,000 mark, which is a nice benchmark. And now I'm looking to, since I have more money, I can start buying more shares, start buying stocks maybe a little bit higher in price, and I can start growing my account a little bit more. The more money you have, the more you can grow your account because the more shares you can buy. So once you get to 5,000, you can start going a little bit more. 10,000, you see the account grow a little quicker. 20,000, you're really starting to move. 40,000, now you're getting all the way up to 100,000 and stuff. So the hardest part of a small account challenge is just starting at the beginning. Be able to get those small little gains. A $300 profit, I'm going to lock that in real quick and be able to enjoy my day after that one. So awesome job. A lot of predictability behind this play. A lot of easy reading on this play as well. This is just process of elimination. We all understand that. We've all been to school. We all have had multiple choice questions. All we did was have a process of elimination and pick the one that was only left. Very simple stuff. Very easy play. And on top of that, the most beautiful thing about this is the amount of people that banked on EYEG, which was the majority of the chat room just banking on this play. 205, 328, 120, 141, 271, 80, 250, 700, 120, 127. Goes on and on and on and on and on. So again, awesome work over on EYEG. I think one of the biggest profits I saw was actually over on my Twitter, which was, I think Joseph, he had a nice profit around $900 over on EYEG today. So awesome work there. But great job. Enjoy it. Let's move on to our next one and keep on killing it.